And now a word from our feeling of the week, lucky. Now, lucky is a funny emotion because most people don't think of it as a feeling. We think of it as an outcome, but there's actually is a feeling associated with luck. It's that moment when something unexpectedly works out, when the timing aligns, when the outcome is better than you could have ever expected, when something goes right that easily could have gone wrong. The feeling of luck tends to bring a mix of emotions with it: gratitude, relief, maybe a little awe, and sometimes maybe some humility. But there's another interesting thing about luck. Some people do experience it more often than others. I don't think we need to sugarcoat this. And there's research to suggest that people who notice these opportunities, who stay curious and remain open to unexpected opportunities, tend to experience more quote unquote lucky moments in their lives. Not necessarily because the universe favors them or there's some grand plan for them to be luckier than you, but because they're paying attention. Now, I can't say that this sums up all luck, and certainly privilege has a part in this conversation, but I do know that paying attention and looking out for these things, those little moments of joy, meaning, connection, relief that we find in our life, is a big part of how you build your emotional endurance. I hope this year you are lucky enough to be able to learn these skills and find more moments of joy, meaning, connection, and relief in our lives, because it shouldn't just be the lucky ones who do this. It should be all of us who are able to do this. And that's all from this week's Feeling of the Week, Lucky. Now it's time for a word from our skill of the week, gratitude. Gratitude is one of the most researched emotional regulation tools we have. And it's not surprising because the seeds of joy have been found to start with gratitude. Because gratitude isn't about pretending everything is good. It doesn't just whitewash the situation away. It's about finding the little bits of good within it. Intentionally noticing. When we're intentionally thinking about our gratitude, we're doing something very specifically neurologically. We're training the brain's attention system to scan for supportive experiences instead of only scanning for threat, which is really our default mode. Over time, this changes how we interpret our lives, our relationships, and yes, even our goals. The interesting thing about gratitude is that it doesn't require big events. It actually works best with small doses. A conversation that went well, a moment of quiet, someone showing up when you needed them most. Even just realizing that something didn't go as badly as it could have. Gratitude expands the number of moments our brain recognizes as meaningful. And when those moments add up, they build your reserves, which builds more emotional endurance for you. And that's all from this week's Skill of the Week, gratitude.